So now you're ready to try text in Cricut Design Space. Well, there's a lot of fun things you can do with text. So right now, again, you're at a new project on your design canvas screen, and right here is your text icon. So when you click on your text icon, you're going to notice on the top, you're getting a whole new toolbar. And this is where you're going to do most of your work with your text. You also down here have a text box that you can make a little bit bigger. Oops, sorry. Let's do that again. That you can make bigger or smaller if you want to. If you've got a lot of text, you might want to make this a little bit bigger. So to start out with, when you select the text box, Cricut comes to a couple of defaults, and one of them is the font. And I will have a bad habit probably of going back and forth and saying font and text meaning the same thing, but that's what it is. You have your font default is Cricut Sans. You have the ability, depending on the font, to have it regular, bold italics, or writing. This is where you're going to adjust your font size, your letter space, your line space, your alignment. And then once you type out some text, you are able to curve your text in Cricut Design Space. So we're going to get to that here pretty soon. But anyway, go ahead and click on fonts, and you have a whole new screen that has all kinds of fonts on here. So we'll talk a little bit about these fonts and exactly what they mean. So you have the Cricut Access fonts that are available at no charge if you are a Cricut Access member. And if you see any fonts that you like, and you don't have Cricut Access, you are going to be asked to pay for them. But as I've noted before, you can go ahead and design with them and see if you like it first. Until you actually make your project and send it to the cutting mat, you can experiment with it, and then you can decide if you really want to pay for that font. So you got a couple of new things up here on Cricut Design Space that have changed if you haven't looked at it for a while. You have all fonts that you can check. System fonts. Now those are fonts that you've uploaded from another space. There's a lot of people, including myself, that love to upload fonts from defont.com. They have about 50,000 free fonts that you can upload to Cricut Design Space, and they're just wonderful. I have quite a few. Or strictly the Cricut already Cricut fonts that they have designed to work and cut with on Design Space, but you're not limited to those. You're sure welcome to have all kinds of your own fonts. And they also take fonts from, if you have Word downloaded into your computer, it will access those fonts too, because they are part now on your computer. So the other new item is only kerned fonts. And you're like, what the heck is that? Well, kerned actually means moving letters closer together to space them out the way you want. And previously on Cricut Design Space, if you selected any font, they would show up on your design screen rather far apart from each other, and you would literally have to ungroup and take them individual letters and scoot them over to try to get them all nice and close to each other. And it was really irritating. So right now, Cricut does that. When you select a font that's a kerned font, you're going to get a nice group of letters that are next to each other and look correct. However, you can uncheck this, and you're going to get all the fonts that are in your font selections. And even if you pick a font that is not a kerned font, they still come out pretty nice and close to each other. So here's another little filter where you can select if you're looking for a writing font, a single layer font, a multi-layer font, or my fonts, or downloaded fonts. So let's click on that. And right now it is showing, there we go, 2 fonts. So let me kind of explain what that downloaded font means. If you look at this, there's a little bar here that says remove, and there's this little icon over here. So what that means is I've downloaded that font to be used offline if I want to design with Cricut Design Space. It is no longer an internet type program. It is an app type program. So it's actually loaded into your computer along the lines of, say, PowerPoint or Word. So if you want to actually design and work offline with Cricut, you can do that, but you need to select your items that would be available to work offline. Hopefully that makes sense, sorry. And I'm going to make another video that explains that a little further. So if I decide I don't really want to work offline, I can click on that and click on that, and I get this download. So I can download them back again if I want to work offline. So let's just go back now to search fonts. And you probably saw that little download green button previously. You can go ahead and select any of these. And these are only going to be Cricut fonts that you can download. Your other system fonts that you've uploaded yourself or that are on your Word program, you can actually design with those while you're offline, because they're actually attached to your computer, not necessarily just to Cricut Design Space. So hopefully that makes sense. So I have a favorite font that I like, and I've uploaded it, and it's called Watermelon. And so I can do a search and nothing comes up. Well, how interesting is that? So let's click on that and let's scratch that out and let's change. See there, that's what I did wrong. I did not get rid of the downloaded. So that's another thing with filters, is you've got to make sure you still don't have a particular filter check. So let's try this one more time. Let's do watermelon. And I, again, can't seem to type. And then click your search, and there it is. So now I can click on that, and I can go ahead now. You can see right here, my text is as watermelon script. This is what I uploaded from the font. So I'm gonna just type out happy birthday. And you can see that this actually comes out pretty nicely when I go ahead and type it, use it as a current font. Again, they used to come all far apart, and you would have to go through a lot of rigmarole to get them together. Now, this particular font has no style options, and some fonts do and some don't. Some people seem to think there's an issue with their design space when they don't have a style function. No, there's not. Not every font has that ability. The font size is 72, which is the default, and you can change that. You can either type in it, you can type in, or you can literally click your arrows up or down, make it bigger or smaller. So if I want to go back and change this, I double click on the happy birthday. So I just wanted to show you, so I can put to you. So again, why am I not typing well today? So okay, so now I can go on, click my dialog box, and I can align it so I can center happy birthday to you. Now here's your line space that I was talking about a little bit earlier. If you think to you is a little bit close here, and it kind of is, you can make the line space a little differently. So maybe you noticed earlier when I typed out happy birthday that I had this curve option highlighted, and right now it's not. So you're like, well, how could I curve that? Well, you can. So let's not give up just yet. We can ungroup to lines, because I want to ungroup, which means I want to take these two lines apart and I want to ungroup the lines. If I wanted to ungroup each individual letter, I would select that, but I'm going to ungroup to lines, and I'm going to click this line, and I'm going to move this line up. Now you see my curve function is available. So let's click on it, and you can kind of go ahead and curve how you want, or you can click this, and you can go the other way. Now some like this, if you curve it, maybe you're not too happy because of the curlicue-ness of the letters, that it doesn't seem to look particularly balanced. So you can go to your advanced and you can ungroup to letters. Now this is going to take, and you can see over here now you've got individual letters. You can maybe move your letters around a little bit to get them where you want and to get your curve the way you want. And right now I would say I'm not terribly happy with it, but this kind of gives you an idea. And then you've got your happy birthday to you. You can, right now, you can change your color on this if you want to change it to a different color. So this basically is how you use fonts. And if you don't like your font, you can delete it and you can start all over. Now you've seen a lot of other things happen along here, like on this right side you have what's called your layer screen. I will do a video on that to kind of explain why these things changed on the layer screen, because this is a really important and helpful screen. And also down here on the bottom there's some other icons that I will also put in a short video, but hopefully this will help you in your text. And have fun, experiment, don't be intimidated by Cricut Design Space, because you can create it. Thank you.